So we've got some upcoming cool temperatures this weekend and everyone is worried about potential frost damage. I'm out here today scouting some corn that was planted April 20th. So we're right around 2 weeks in the ground, coming up good. It's just emerged, doesn't have a collar on it yet, and I'll go through that here in a minute. But what we're worried about with the upcoming temperatures tomorrow night, here in southern Indiana, we're supposed to get down to 28 to 30, depending on where you're at. But anytime we have frost, cool temperatures like that below freezing, there's potential to harm the crop. So with corn, thankfully most growers up here are going to be all right. What we're really concerned about is the growing point. So here's a plant that I've dug up right here, if you guys can see it. But this seedling has a leaf unrolled, but it does not have a collar on it yet. So this is just VE, it's emergence. But what we're really concerned about is this thick spot right here where my pointer finger is at. This is the crown, the growing point, and you can kind of see there's a rib going across there. That growing point is 3/4 of an inch below the soil surface. Whenever the seed gets planted and oriented, it will always be 3/4 of an inch below the surface. So even if this corn right here would get frosted and die completely above ground, this growing point is still below the surface and should not be harmed by the temperatures we're going to have this weekend. That being said, you'll see that the leaves will die and they'll be shriveled up, brown, wilted, almost like a flower. When it gets frost damage, it'll be light brown, translucent, you can see through it. All of that will die and it'll disappear and it'll look like there's nothing left, but then this will start regrowing from the crown, from this growing point, and come back out of the ground. If this corn was bigger, for say it was at V2 and it had 2 collared leaves and got frosted completely off at the surface, when it starts regrowing, it will not start back at 0. So the first leaf it comes on after frost will not be V1, it will be V3. So it will start off where it left off before that frost damage. But we should be all right with this field, and most fields in Indiana, even the ones that got planted at the beginning of April, are still in that V2 to V3 window because we've not had very many warm days to accumulate a lot of growth. So with that being said, we should be all right. Most of the beans in the area should be as well, but there's some other things we can look for in the beans.